Welcome to Voutezac, a small village in the Correze and our new home. As you can see, the village is built on the top of a hill like so many around here. Once there was actually a chateau here, and the village has been owned, if we can put it that way, by many different political factions over the years, including about 80 years in the 13th century when it was actually English. Here we see the houses backing onto our road, and in front of you is our little house. Quite high up, and a nice little view across what's virtually our private valley from the balcony adjoining our kitchen. Looking back up the road towards our house and into the village itself, we're right on the edge, so we have best of both worlds, countryside on one side and the village with all its life, not that much of it, but enough on the other. Looking down the hill, there's an old barn there which isn't ours, but is for sale, and what we think is an old watermill on the left. We've been here since last September, and we've never seen anybody in the mill at all. Another old barn at the bottom of the road, and leading up the side of the barn there goes up towards an old reservoir. This is a very useful place for dog walking, and the reservoir itself has been stocked with fish, trout I think, and they do have special fishing competitions there every so often. The building you can see at the end is the old lavoir, and this is where the ladies from the village would come down to do all their clothes washing back in those unreconstructed days. The path here leads back up into the village again. Well, down below us you can just see our friend the sheep. We used to have a pal, but he went away. This is known as the ramparts of the village, and just below you can see the roof of our house. Our house was built into the old defensive wall, and this is the actual ramparts of the chateau. As you can see, this is the oldest part of the village. It leads down into the church square, and maps for those brave enough to want to do any walking, and a little symbol, rather spoiled I think by the plastic pipe in its mouth. Lovely old church. Many of the churches here are built in what you might call a fortified style, just in case. Looking up towards the higher parts, and then down again past the church with the post office in front of us, and the bakery, the boulangerie, a very useful thing to have in a small village. And of course the hairdressers and a cafe. Nice little cafe, good food, cheap food. Not open as open often in the evening as we'd like, but there we are. This is the Place de la République, where all the fairs and fetes and boule competitions happen when it's not full of gravel, which is at the moment for reasons unknown. And they're looking back down into the village. And then walking all the way around, you can see how high up we're set with the lovely views. Some nice big houses here. Sometimes they seem only to be occupied as summer homes, but you never really know. The French do shut their shutters at the slightest opportunity. Very sensible of them, really. And walking back into the town again with the Marie set on the hill up there, ruling everything, of course. It would appear there used to be another auberge here. Mr. Debillard was an aubergiste at one point. I don't know how much traffic he had trading along there, but maybe people came just for the views. We're coming back into the older part of the town again. Some really nice old buildings here, many of which have got lovely views out over the valley, as you can see. Oops. Working our way around again. And this is the road that leads up past the Mairie. And the foyer used to be the sort of village hall, but they have built a brand new one just outside the village now, although they're both used quite regularly. Back up into the church square, and then leading down into our road, Rue de Ruchoux, and you can see our house down there with the old Discovery parked outside. Had to put that in, that's one of our neighbours. A picture I was very pleased with catching.